I completely forgot to go over this. I completely missed it. Um, so Laravia, you guys heard of him? You heard of Jake Laravia? If you don't remember, we did a video on him a couple years ago, or a few years ago, for that draft. These are my thoughts that I put on Twitter, in which I said Jake Laravia may not be that great offensively, which he seemed a little inconsistent throughout his college career. Last year, I think his last year of his college career, he shot fairly well from behind the arc, but he was a little spotty prior to that. I think it was like 31% his second year. But I said, but if my Spurs grabbed him in the second round, I'd be content. His defense is pretty good. He's also a great team player. So I thought that he was actually perfect. Oh, dang. Shout out to Peter. He said Kyle 2.0. Yeah, I thought that he was perfect for the Memphis Grizzlies initially because they needed a player like that. They needed someone that was kind of a glue guy that can do a little bit of multitude of things. But I'll be real with you. I'll be transparent. I haven't watched a lot of Jake Laravia. I do know that with the Kings, he's been considered a really good role player for them. And, you know, just trying to think back at how I felt about him early on, I wanted us to get him, right? So I wanted to know what you guys think about grabbing him. But what ended up happening was Jake Laravia talking about teams that he would want to go to if he were to be traded. And the San Antonio Spurs were one of those teams. Let's see if I can find it. I might just have to type it in. Hold on. There we go. So we can see right here. I really did enjoy being there in Sacramento, even outside of the coaches and the players. The fan base there was amazing. I could see going back there as an option. He says, if Laravia doesn't end up back in Sacramento, he hopes to land on a young, up-and-coming team looking to contend for championship soon. Aside from Sacramento, Laravia mentioned Orlando, Detroit, San Antonio, and Denver as possible teams he would want to play for. Laravia's ultimate goals, like most NBA players, revolve around contributing to a title-winning team. Playoff basketball favors versatile, skilled, high-feel players who impact winning in a variety of ways. And he says, when it comes down to it, you need three-point shooting, you need defense, he said. Every team needs a player like that, a taller wing that can play both sides of the ball, that can defend, be gritty, that can make shots. So moving on, he said stars on the team are going to get double teamed. They're going to get blitz. So this is good right off the bat, okay? He knows his role. He's not going out of his way to say, oh my God, you know, all these, I want the ball in my hands or anything like that. Teams are going to make role players beat us instead of the star players. And this is very true. You can kind of see it around the league right now, right? Like what makes the OKC Thunder so dangerous is that. What makes the Pacers so dangerous is that. The amount of depth that you have. Like pick your poison, you know? What made the 2014 Spurs so dangerous is that. Like, okay, you stop this one player. You stop Kawhi. Okay, try us. Stop Duncan. Try us. Let's see who beats you, right? You got a lot of depth. So I've said this before, and I hope that Spurs fans don't get caught into this trap. And what is that trap? The trap of we have too much of this thing, okay? You need to look around the league, open up our horizons a little bit, and you need multitude of players with a lot of depth on your team to make things work, okay? You need a lot of depth. So let's not get wrapped into, well, we have enough of this or enough of that. Do not do that, okay? Do not do that. So he's somebody who can add depth to our team if we were to go for it. And like I said, I really like Jake Laravia. I just didn't get a chance to watch a ton of him this season. But it says here, this is from Ben Pfeiffer. This is from December 4th, 2024. He says Jake Laravia is up 60% true shooting percentage and 39.6% from three. Low value. Yeah, I think he only averaged like 2 threes a game. We'll look at that in a minute. The scoring has caught up to the rest of his game. Has been one of the better role players in the league so far, in my opinion. Memphis deploys him in so many ways. Screener, driver, pick and roll, handler, you name it. All right, let's see what we can get away with here. Oh, hey. All right, guys. We're not going to get in trouble because we're going to go real slow. right, so let's see here. All right, there's Baines. Jake Laravia makes a drive on the baseline. Ooh, okay. All right, a little unorthodox shot there. He made it. What another clip we got here. All right, comes in. Here's a pick and roll. Ooh, is he going to pass to the left? That would be a beautiful play. It'd be a beautiful play. He passed to the left. Beautiful. Bang. All right, so yeah. So like I said before, a few years ago when we talked about what type of player he is, he would just be another glue guy that can do multitude of different things. So I'm with it. I'm for it. I'm happy with it. I think that would be good. This is what Jake Laravia also said. I didn't read this part. I'm 6'8". I have a good IQ of the game. I can pass. He's talking to you guys right now, by the way. He's talking to you Spurs fans, okay? He's like, you guys don't want me? Listen, I'm 6'8". I have a good IQ of the game. I can pass the ball. I can attack. I can shoot. I can cut. That versatile, taller wing position fits perfectly into that offense. I was making the right plays, and that's what he liked. So, anyways, I am for it. This will be another player that you bring on to the squad that shouldn't cost too much, right? Really good role player that adds depth to the team, and I expect the Spurs to be a playoff team, so you're going to need that depth, right? So I'm completely open to it. Always liked him, and personality-wise, I don't really advocate for any players being on the Spurs at all if I feel like the attitude ain't really there. But from my recollection back then, I really liked them. All right, so this is Jake Laravia's stats this season. And we can see here, yeah, low volumes, definitely low volume. But you can see he averaged 40. It was only 19 games on 19 minutes. 43.8% field goal percentage. Not the best, right? That's not that great. Year prior, though, with Memphis Grizzlies, it seemed like he really found his rhythm. So that could possibly be it as well, right? Like he finally got used to a team, and then you saw the best possible version of him. And then you go to Sacramento Kings, and, it's not, it's a completely different system. But 43.8%, 3-point percentage, 38.5 on 2 attempts, 2 to 3 attempts a game. Free throw percentage, pretty bad, but obviously we've seen better. Let's see. And then block steal wise, he's not going to be somebody that gives you like crazy stats defensively, right? Like, but he's a good on-ball defender and a good help defender. Anyway, wanted to see what you guys thought about that. Let me just read through some of that. Depth is the new super team. Exactly. And that's good. That's healthy, by the way. It should be. And luckily for us, the Spurs have been doing this for a very long time, having to build a team, and we create a dynasty out of building a team. So we should be the best at it. It's good that that's the meta. Lots of frustration involved, but I beat it. Wait, what? Oh, Metroid. You're talking about Metroid right now. Sorry. Laravia has scored on us decent games. We should get him. Jack of all trades, Sohan type attitude. Yeah. All right. So it seems like you guys are pretty hyped about it. So this is some pretty big news. The fact that we're on his list, and yeah, he got a good head on his shoulders, right? So let me know what you think, especially those of you who watched a ton of Jake Laravia over the course of the last season or two. I watched him quite a bit with Memphis. Didn't see him with the Kings. Not really, right? So yeah, I don't. I'm a little ignorant to Ravia over the course of the last like couple seasons. I'll be honest with you, but I recall liking him, and yeah, let me know what you think.